Hello, this is Uncle Jim, and these are my very first 223 loads ever. And normally, if you're loading 223 for the first time, you would use a known bullet with known data, but that's not the case here. So we're using PMC brass. There's a lot of unknown factors here. S&B small rifle primers. I figured I'd go cheap on cheap. And these are the Berry's 55 grain jacketed bullet, not plated. And I ran into an issue with this. And then this looks like the Hornady. This is a factory second from Midway. And Midway doesn't tell you what they are. So it looks like a Hornady. So there's some unknown factors here. So using Varget powder, and I had a load in my mind to start with, but then I backed her down after these first five. And the reason was this one with an X on here. I seated the bullet and I crimped the bullet right in the middle of the cantilever. And then I thought, well, I better check it in a magazine. And a brand new 20 round Magpul magazine, it would not fit. Okay, so I had to seat it and crimp it again later. You know, I had to seat it a few times till I checked it in the magazine and crimped it. So this one has an X on it because it's been crimped and seated and crimped. And we're going to use that for an experiment. Same with this X here. So I finally had to go, the very maximum was 2.228 on this Berry's bullet. The bullets actually come out to 55.3 grains. And then I get to this one, which looks like a Hornady soft point. Both of these are bevel base or now I just went brain dead. You know what I mean. We'll get back to that. So the cantilever here, you have less volume because it's seated down further. And so I started with 25.5 grains. That's what I had in my head. But then I thought, you know, I better back her down. And I'll do 5 rounds of this with 24.5 grains. So we have 25.5, 24.5 with the Berries, and then with the Hornady looking ones, 24.5. Overall length on this, just to fit in the magazine, bare maximum 2.228. And then on the Hornady looking one, that fits in the magazine easy. So this one I ended up with 2.196, and it's on the lower portion of the cantilever. And so when you look at them together, this one I had to seat at the very top of the cantilever, right here, just to get them to fit in the mag. So that's kind of odd about this bullet. And then when you look at them both, the volume's almost the same because this one's loaded to the top and this one's loaded almost to the bottom. So the volume's about the same. So I scooped the charges of Varget and I started off with this. I had cleaned this with alcohol and then wiped her down real good with a used dryer sheet and still got static clean. So out the door that went. That came with the die set. We went back to old school here. And a 45 shell is almost just right, as long as it's a little bit under the rim. So I scooped and weighed. I used George Jetson. He worked great. And the Wahoo scale. So when I was priming the S&B primers, some of them went in easier than the other. I primed them on the press, the 4-hole turret, And so, there's a lot of things going through my head here. Now, they'll be fine. It's once fired brass. Not perfectly clean, but so what else was going through my head? Well, I have two here with an X. This one was seated and crimped. Then I had to reseat it and crimp it to find the perfect overall length, and thus the X. And then this one has an X because I dropped the bullet on the floor and smashed the tip before I crimped it. So what I'm going to do with these two is, I wasn't sure on my crimp. I'm using the Lee die set with the collet crimp. So what I did was just look down the collet and crimped it halfway. So I'd say it was a medium light crimp, almost halfway, where you can see the cullets inside squeeze. You never want to squeeze them all the way. So what I'm going to do is figure out what gun I'm going to use as a dummy, test dummy. And I'm going to rack these through the AR several times and measure to make sure I don't get bullet setback. Okay, otherwise I got to crimp them a little more. But I think we should be okay. But that's something you should always check on pistol or a rifle. So I'll be doing that with these 2X bullets, and they'll just be the Fowler shot. So today I was going to shoot for groups, and it just turns out today is just going to be about not blowing your face off. Okay, to check the crimp, and also if I was hitting the lands, I racked the rounds through several times in a safe direction in the backyard. And the brass goat here was very helpful. Thanks, Esau. However, I got a little careless and caused a double feed, not racking properly, and smashed the living hell out of both bullets. So, no bullet setback. However, I'll be pulling these and saving the powder. So that one's shot. This one is usable, but the bullet itself is pretty tatered. We're off to a great start. Great. Okay, I wasn't going to record this. I just wanted gym time. It's getting dark. And the gun I pulled out is a 5.56 chamber, 16-inch barrel with a 4-power scope. I'll show you that in a minute. So I have 5 rounds left. I shot 4 of the Hornadies, cold bore, and then I shot the berries at a 1-inch square that's already shot. The targets are already shot up. That's why I didn't want to record, but till I get fresh ones out there, now I got to figure out what to shoot at. So then I shot 5 of the berries, and I'm just using a foam block. This has a GI enhanced trigger. I'm not even using a 2-stage right now. And the berries put 3 in one hole, and then for some reason my last 2 I shot a little right of that, and those 2 were in the same hole. So that was the lighter charge, and I already hit a frickin' load. This is 70 yards. And now I got to figure out what to shoot at now. This has the lollipop post on it with mil dots. Man, so I moved the scope over a click. And I can't see my groups with this scope, but I have a spotting scope. What to shoot at? I don't want to mess up that group. Well, I'll just go at the big 4-inch sticker, but I can't really tell. Oh man, I don't want to screw this up. It's better at 6 o'clock. Man, I wish I had one more 1-inch sticker out there, but it's so faded I can't see it. Oh, I know. I'll use the mill and go above it. Hopefully it'll print above all that stuff. It might go over the board. All right, I'll use the mill at the 1 inch. Now that's going to go into the sticker. All right, I'm just going to shoot it the same 1 inch. It's just going to have a group an inch over, I guess. Darn it. All right, here we go. This is the hotter charge now. Let's check the brass on this. I have the brass goat, but I took the thing off of it. So it's going in a cardboard box so I can check each. All right, that's fine. Let's see where we printed. It's in the same group, but it's a nice group. All right. Not the ideal situation. Oh man, it's just going in the. It's going in the same hole. I got 5 in one hole. I'm getting more of those bullets. I can't believe both these loads are doing the same. And again, there's some guesswork. I'm just putting a lollipop on what I think I can see out there on the bottom. And I'm fuzzing out. It's so much better off camera. Let me check these primers again. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh, right in the same hole. Oh, do I have to hike out there tonight? And we're out. Feels like we're out. Yep. What do I got in the box? You can see my, oh, I had 4 because I smashed one. Okay. Let's see where that one went. Holy crap. All right, so it's probably my eyes. I have some to the right, some to the left. They're all one hole, from what I can tell. Okay, 16-inch barrel, 5.56 chamber, GI trigger, enhanced nickel boron that I painted black, 4-power scope. It wasn't the best conditions, foam block, scratched up Smith & Wesson glasses, and it still shot good. So that tells me I have a load and a node here. Both rounds are going in the same groups pretty much. Maybe I'll hike out there. It's getting dark. You can see the sun is setting right now. Okay, that was already shot at. You can tell where the fresh ones are. That's a 1-inch square. I'll bring that in, put up some new targets for doing a good test. Alrighty then. Okay, I just got back in and I'm a little surprised. I didn't get a shotgun pattern. All I cared about was not blowing my face off. And it did better than what I thought it would. Originally, I just wanted to get a planking bullet that shoots decent to learn how to load 223 with. And it exceeded my expectations. So I grabbed an AR that had a scope on it. Usually I have red dots. They're all duty guns. I have no bench rest ARs. So 16-inch barrel. I think it's a Spikes barrel when I put it together. It's chrome lined, so that's how old it is. 1 7 twist, 5.56 chamber, GI trigger, and we did this. when it was getting dark, and I'm on a foam block. I'm not even, rested good. I wasn't even going to bring the camera out till I started seeing this. And I was like, oh, I better record this. I just wanted to see if these flattened primers or anything. That's all I was concerned about. So the scope is Bushnell. It has this crosshair aperture. It's a circle and a lollipop, and you got your mils. The scope was pretty much dead on, shooting a little right. And so I shot 9, and 2 of these are 2 different loads, a grain apart. But they all did the same thing because I was walking left and right. Because, I'm trying to put a lollipop here on a faded. You can see how faded this target is. The targets have been out there for a month or two, and they were all shot at. So I started with the Hornady looking bullet. Cold bore shot went a little high, and then I had 3 in a little group like this. But I only had 4 to shoot because I munched one. And then I get to the lighter charge with the Berries bullets, and that was 24.5 grain. And shot those, and the primers were looking good. I was using the goat brass catcher without the hopper on it, and I just let them fall in a box so I could grab and look at the primers. That's all I was caring about. And then those started making a hole, so I was like, okay, I'll get the camera and show what I'm doing, because now I might hike out there. All I cared about was, is it going to function and everything. After I shot 5 of those, I had 4 left because I munched one. And these were all the numbered brass where I was setting up my sizer. And I numbered them and tweaked with the sizer a little bit. So these are all different, and they shot in the same hole with 1 more grain of powder. So these were the 25.5 grain. Okay. And so I'm pretty excited about this. I'm just looking for a cheap Plinken bullet. These were $50 for 500 shipped at Midway when they were on sale, and I think I found the Plinken bullet. My thoughts were, on a really good day, I could shoot an inch. I'd be happy with the Plinken bullet. Well, it exceeded my expectations because I got 2 different loads here. And these are, everything was shot at. So these are 22s I shot previously. There's one there. There was actually 3 over here and 2 here before I shot at it with the 223. And I can count the bumps, and there's 6 in here, and there's 3 here. And I shot 9 because I munched one. Testing. So 2 different loads, and that's under an inch. These squares are normally an inch, but the targets have been out for a month or 2, and they faded and shrunk. So this is actually now 0.935. So the group with 2 different loads and the Berries bullets, center to center. Let's try and get that about right. Be about right there. 0.950. So under an inch with the 2 different loads. And then this one group was 6 shots. If I can do this. 0.343. Yeah, 343. I'll take that. I wasn't expecting that. I was not comfortable. It was getting dark. I forgot that I had illumination on this, and I didn't even use the illumination. But this, to me, was the best one to shoot at out there because I could put the lollipop right here. The other bigger sticker targets I had out there, I had a hard time. It was hard to halo those. And I guess that's it. So I think I found the Plinken bullet. I'm not sure how good these soft points are doing because I didn't give them a chance. and I think I found a good start, and I was just winging it. I'm just looking at manuals. What am I going to do here? This is the first time I ever loaded it, and the Varget did good. So, their data on here, wow, they're saying 55 grain bullets, 27.5 grains. Well, for one, I don't have that bullet, and I think I'm fine where I'm at, because both these loads right here did exactly what I want. So I'll try and get comfy next time, and we have a starting point. I want to shoot the new Foxtrot 15 that has a wild chamber, and I can shoot it with both the ranch lower, which has a heavier trigger, and then the folding stock with the 2-stage trigger that I got from Hesaw. So considering what I was doing out there, I am very happy. And I know I could do this at 100 yards comfortable when I'm comfy with a 2-stage trigger. So I'm already on to a load here. I can't believe it. I'm kind of stunned. I'm blown away right now. I didn't know what to expect. Everything looks good. Hornady looking bullets, the lighter charge with the berries, and the 1 grain more, the hotter charge. And these were all the ones that I had numbered when I was setting up my sizer, and they still shot good. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Yeah, I'm sure you bench resters out there can do better than the old man, but I'm using a 4-power scope, okay, on a portable bench with a foam block. So until next time, thanks for watching.